We want to take you now to a live look in Washington, D.C. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is working to introduce a bill that could let Americans finally see hard evidence of real UFOs. Later this month, the House Oversight Committee is planning to hold a hearing on UFOs. And this, of course, comes after NewsNation exclusive reporting. A whistleblower telling us the U.S. has a secret program to retrieve alien technology. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is live for us from Capitol Hill. Joe, talk to us about this bill. Where does it stand? How's it being received?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. It's Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that introduced it. In theory, what this bill would do is compel the Pentagon to release a lot of their records that they have as they relate to UAPs. So we're talking about UAP reports. We're also talking about accounts, witness accounts, and potentially even videos that the Pentagon would have. Now, again, this is all in theory, but I do want to just take a step back here, Brooke. This is a big deal that this is coming from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He is the #1 top-ranking senator in the entire building. Not to disrespect any individual members of Congress or the House, but it carries much more weight when somebody of his rank is moving this bill forward. This is the first time in modern memory that someone as high as him is pushing for the declassification of UAP records. So it is a really big deal here. Now, what this bill would do is give the Pentagon 300 days to produce all of the records they have relating to UAPs, hand them over to a 9-member board. Now, these 9 people would be selected under Schumer's plan by the president himself. Presumably, they would then go through all of these records from the Pentagon, and they would decide which ones could be allowed to be public and declassified and which ones would remain secret. Now, this bill is part of the NDAA. This is the annual defense bill that the Senate and the House put together every year. So it's part of that, something you may have heard much about. We talked to the top Democrat in the House about this today, Hakeem Jeffries, at his press conference earlier this morning. We asked him about it, and his answer I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I've not participated in any Gang of 8 briefings this year related to the subject of unidentified flying objects, but I do support transparency, and to the extent there's information that can be put into the public domain that is enlightening one way or the other, and perhaps is able to dismiss some of the conspiracy theories that exist increasingly in our society, then that is certainly something that I support.
So, again, I thought that was an interesting response to this here. Now, the NDAA itself, the big defense bill, it's got a couple of different measures as it relates to UAPs, Brooke. One of them is something that we talked about with Senator Marco Rubio in our exclusive interview a few weeks back. That measure would require the Pentagon to have to disclose any secret programs that they have regarding UAPs to AARO. AARO is the group in the Pentagon that is supposed to be handling UAP claims, but our whistleblower, David Grush, and a few others have said that even AARO has been kept in the dark about some of these programs. So a bill to do that. There's also another measure in the NDAA that basically provides a number of protections for whistleblowers who want to come forward and talk about this stuff. So a lot of UAP-related things in the defense bill, Brooke. We're going to see ultimately if it passes and where this one with Schumer goes.
Absolutely. All right, Joe Khalil in D.C., thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.